wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Solitus tuo, usulcarum, ungularum, delectatque contremescit me. Intra, intro.
Hey, Bulbous. Hey, Elmies, we're coming back with another 13th Elm. This one's a fun one. We're doing this live here at the halls of Miskatonic University in Arkham, Mass. Of course. And you know what that means?
It's cold.
It's dang cold.
Wicked cold up in here.
Wicked cold, eh? But
I like them apples.
we're going to be warming our tootsies up inside here for the duration of this pod. The last few ones we've been standing outside hustling food carts and harassing yokels. But
Mediterranean, also Mars.
Where we going?
yeah, we've been around.
Where are we going in? What building are they letting us into?
This is the English department.
Oh.
I think
Alright.
it's Mason Perry Hall.
Yeah. We what movie are we doing?
I don't know. You picked it.
Well, we're doing Re-Animator. That's a 1985 classic.
Oh,
Even though
yeah.
the screen we're looking at right here says 1984, everywhere I've ever looked it said 1985.
I've always heard 85 too. I don't know.
You know, we could
What's
get
going
into
on
the
there?
minutia of dates, and I think we should. What do you have to say about that, Michael?
What I know about dates is if by the third one what we did the first
What we're saying is, you get it. I mean, Barbara Cramp, Jeffrey Combs, come on.
Okay, let's I'm going to take this moment to just say that anything that I say about Barbara Crampton from this moment on for my life is with the utmost respect. And if it ever comes across as anything less than that, then that's a failure on my part because
Should we give her a moment
she's
of
the best.
silence?
She's the best. Moment of silence for BC.
You done?
Well,
Yeah,
you
I was
are.
really glad. I was really glad you picked this movie. This is one of my all-time favorites.
It's really
for
good.
so many reasons.
There's a lot to like about this.
This was your first viewing.
Yeah. I mean,
If I
like
remember
I have
correctly.
seen the scene.
The
You know
scene.
the scene.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But aside from that, man, I had not seen this before. Herbert West, which that's is that Bruce?
Jeffrey Combs.
That's
Jeffrey
Jeffrey.
Combs,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's Jeffrey. Jeffrey Combs has a big like young Stephen King vibe to me. Like he looks like Stephen King with the glasses and the dark hair and just like everything about him. He's great. He's playing his part very believably, and
he's a fun character.
and he's fun.
It's a big theater actor. Also, like
Yeah.
he himself, Jeffrey Combs, like he brings a lot of like larger than life
He's
personality
emotive. He's
to
extremely emotive.
Herbert West, which I
Yeah.
think is suited in this film.
A sort of like almost neurotic,
Yeah.
obsessive student or doctor.
Although it's a caricature.
But
Yeah.
this is based off of Lovecraft's. I think it's called Re-Animator,
Herbert West.
Herbert
Herbert
West.
West Re-Animator,
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
is
yeah.
what it's called.
which I've not read, but he's so good in this, and everybody's pretty good in this. I feel.
You know, this is not a film that had a lot of big names at the time. Stuart Gordon wasn't a big name. He's a director in it. It was a Charles Band film, which is Charles Band. We all know his movies, Puppet Masters. Like Full Moon Pictures is Charles Band. So like anything like Castle Freak, or he did a lot of he did like From Beyond and stuff
He's
like
a
that.
producer, right?
Yeah, producer.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of the Lovecraft stuff, but even still, these cast members were not really established, even within the cult scene yet. And they had a pretty low budget, and And some of the effects were really creative, how they made it stand up even still, like just camera tricks. But
Yeah, I think it
it's
looks
pretty
good.
impressive for what they had. And a lot of it is with the performances.
Yeah, I mean, it is also like an exploitation film, like
Yeah.
a lot of nudity and gore and violence, which is our bread and butter here at 13th and Elm.
Mhm.
But if that's what you're into, and you probably are because you're listening to this is fantastic.
I mean, this is definitely, if you're Googling like best horror in the 80s, I'm guaranteed this is popping up, right? And I'm not only thinking that because
Yeah, it's a
I
top
love it so
10,
much. Like, this is
sure.
a well-known, like, campy, gory movie. I mean, my fucking dad knows this movie, you know?
This is almost
Um,
like the personification to me of like what you think of when you think of all of the parts of 80s horror. If you're not explicitly in the like Jason and Freddy world, when you think about like practical effects, nudity, gore, camp,
Queen.
yeah, 'cause, like
And it-
kind of like the small production feels a little bit of B movie. Like it's got all of
The-
those things, but it's also a heater.
The reagent is like phosphorescent Mountain Dew.
yeah,
it's
it's
so
like
br-
so
So it's
fluorescent.
like comic book
It's
level.
so bright, and I don't know if this is done on purpose, but it almost seems like every time you see the serum, everything else in that shot like is dark. So it even
Mhm.
just like pops
Pops
even
even
more.
more.
It's like when you see it, it's in like a musty basement or like
The
a
morgue.
dimly lit morgue
Yeah.
or something.
Where it's coming out of like a dark duffel bag, like at the end of the movie when he's administering the reagent. Was
Yeah.
again.
I'll also
Oh no,
say
the credits drop. Sorry to cut you off,
Oh,
but the
yeah.
credits drop. That final
Perfect.
scene is
Perfect.
awesome with the
it's great.
reagent.
The
That was
fade
fun.
away.
Such
yeah.
a good ending.
And then
Really
the
good.
plunge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also just like, man, get a fucking lock for your front door, homie. People are just like busting into your apartment.
People coming in and out.
left
People
and
coming in
right.
and out. That's how it was. That's how it was when I was in college. I don't know about the
Me too.
80s
To be fair.
in New England, but like we didn't lock our door. There's people coming
All the time.
in and out
It's true.
all the time. But yeah, I definitely get what you mean, especially when you're doing like
Illegal.
experiments.
Oh
in
right,
the-
you
in the
weren't
the
doing anything
corpses.
illegal in your fucking college.
It's a little different when you have
residence?
a body, and you know.
Yeah.
But I guess to be fair to that point, there was a big lock on the door, but it gets busted through by Dan, which we'll get to. Well, I don't know
Dan
if
is
we'll
a
get to it.
handsome
I mean,
man.
I
He's
think this is
sexy.
Dan is awesome.
This is a
sexy.
good-looking cast, honestly.
Yeah, everybody's
Most
pretty
everybody in
attractive.
this cast is attractive.
Yeah. So the people you need to know are
Dan King.
Dan, who's like a promising.
He's a medical student.
He's a promising medical student, and he's dating the dean's daughter, who I can't even remember her name, but it's
Megan
Barbara
Halsey.
Crampton. Megan. And then
Dean Halsey's daughter. Right.
And then Herbert West ends up
Transferring from
transferring.
Austria.
Yeah, which we get this right at the beginning.
Yeah, there's like a cold open of sorts.
Kind of like a little bit of background of what we're gonna get and of Herbert West and like kind of an introduction to his character. We see that he's like cold-blooded right away. That he is a man. He like only cares about science. Like we get that.
His
Right off the
mentor
bat.
is dying, and he's trying to record like his final like
Gruber?
moments.
Hans
and that's
Gruber?
such a great.
Yeah, Hans Gruber.
And that's such a good part of his character, and it's an element that he plays so well, where it's not like over the top, but it's like genuine. Like he's still, and I
Like
don't know. I hope it's for
defending
you,
like the honor of his mentor's research.
yeah. Like I think he's a good guy.
Again, like, well, I don't know about that, but like,
I think he made some bad decisions, but I think he's like a morally.
No.
A good guy and well-intended are two different things, you know.
he's
Yeah.
not, but he's not well intended. He only wants to conquer death for his own like personal, like ego.
I mean, he's like a mad scientist, but it's hard not to like him, right?
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not likable, but I'm just saying like as far as his motivation, like he's not like a good dude. He's like it's not philanthropic. Like he's doing it for his own ego.
I don't know that you get to that point without a bit of that, and
yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation that doesn't exist in this movie, which is bigger than the short story it was inspired by. So probably
Sure.
not a lot of like Herbert West like backstory in depth to really like dissect why he got into like medicine and stuff. But like
Yeah, I mean-
objectively, what he's
Okay.
performing by the time this film is over, it's not good guy behavior.
It's not good by
It's
good
not,
by
yeah,
behavior
it's
by
not.
any means, and also like just resurrecting people in general in the way this world works. seems about as close to desecrating a corpse as I think you can get. Like that's pretty fucked. Like what you're doing. I don't know. Like like an aspect of final wishes and all that, but different kind of conversation. It comes up like in fucking role play games and D&D. 'Cause it's like when you're like raising people from the dead. Like what are you doing? What are you doing with that? Like you turn them into fucking slaves? Like they don't have like reasoning capacity or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because we'll get into that too. The people that are ultimately reanimated, it's not like they're like, oh, hey, thanks, like I'm alive again. There's varying levels
it
of
seems like a living hell
and consciousness. Yeah,
it seems like being woken up and wanting to kill
birth,
whatever you can get your hands on.
Well, it's in its infancy, man.
Yeah.
They gotta like hash some of this shit out.
I'm
That's
just
such
saying,
a good line.
It happens a couple times, and you think that Herbert would eventually figure out that, like, oh, every time I like fucking bring something back, it tries to kill me. Maybe I should stop injecting things into everything that dies around
No,
me.
dude, fuck that.
No, because he can't,
that.
because he's obsessed about it.
Yeah, but also like the thing is the reason why you want to like Herbert is because he's not the one who's painted
There's worse
poorly in that situation.
Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill is out here actually lobotomizing these like reanimated patients and trying to create like an undead horde in his mind so that he can like dominate the will. And so then it's like you look at Herbert and you're like, oh, he's not trying to do that, even though you ask a good question. It's like, well, what is he trying to do though? Like, what is he trying to do? He's just going to bring like Dr. Hill's the only one who seems to have a purpose, but it's a whole much bigger conversation to get into as long as we go along.
For the sake of doing it and like spitting in the face of God, but also being the man to do it because he did the work.
But I mean, I'm not mad at somebody for that.
But I'm not, you don't need to be. But I'm just saying it's important that he gets credit for it.
It should be,
but at the cost of other people's lives and maybe like
they're already dead,
immortal souls, depending on.
That's a second one. I mean, yeah.
Depending on how this world works. I'm just saying, like, when you get into like necromancy, which is literally what this fucking is, there are some big moral issues that are not easily solved, and it depends on not only the methodology and the magic system or whatever the fuck you're doing, it also depends on like the person you're raising, like, or who they were before they died. And that's maybe off the scope and a crazy tangent that's insane for me to get into.
No, it makes sense, just not for this movie.
But the movie is super cool, and like the effects are actually surprisingly good. And I again, like, I've heard about this movie, but I'd not seen it before, and some of the like just biting fingers off and like the
I love that
lots
one.
of good back effects.
The
creative
like
gore
circular
too.
saw through
the
the
bone
chest.
saw through the chest.
That
Yeah,
was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
Even
man.
just peeling the skin away from the skull,
the bone
and
revealing
cutting
the
the glass to-
revealing the brain.
yeah,
the laser drill.
yeah.
Dude,
Fucking
all just
laser
like
drill.
how about the or the fucking, why can't I speak? Decapitated head being paraded around by Dr. Hill in front of his fucking
Dude.
body and shit. Like,
And
that's a great
so
image in
much
the scrubs.
fun.
Using the insane like model head on top of the body. You know,
Yeah.
the
Funny.
split one.
That's
To like
just
sneak
funny.
back
It's,
into
like,
the
good.
morgue.
It's like good like camp, like slapstick almost.
Yeah, it's almost like the two kids stacked on each other to get
Yep.
into an
The
R-rated
trench coat.
movie gag. Like,
Yeah, it's like
but-
the equivalent of whatever the Trojan horse trope is. You know,
Yeah.
it's good. This movie has so much, including a lot of trigger warnings, sexual violence, violence against women. The dog does die. It's a cat in this case, but this movie is still fairly shocking. 30 plus years later,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of blood. It's got full frontal nudity, male and female, lots of it. It's got a lot of questionable dialogue, like offensive writing. This is Grindhouse. This is exploitation.
Don't
and
watch
honestly,
it on a plane.
yeah, don't watch this in public for the first
Or
time.
like at a Christmas party.
But I love it, man. It's honestly probably, like, spoiler alert, we're in the murderer's row of the movie picks right now. All of these ones that we're watching were ones that we're going to like. But this movie, I think, is my single favorite horror movie from the decade of the 80s, which is a lot of people's favorite decade. A lot of people associate horror boom and like some of the best and most iconic franchises to be from the 80s, and I think Re-Animator is my favorite from that decade. But the 70s had better movies overall. What's up?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd have to think and look up when one movie came out, but it's either number 1 or 2.
I mean, it's no Fright Night, but it's pretty good. So
Halloween
Yeah,
came out
no.
in 79.
I was thinking Dead Alive.
Dead Alive came out in 92.
We're good.
So that
This is the best movie that came out in the 80s.
So my favorite 90s
Tammy?
is Dead Alive. Oh.
What?
Tammy.
Tammy is 92.
Tammy's 90s.
Or yeah, but what's better, Tammy or Dead
Tammy.
Alive?
Tammy.
For
Tammy.
you taking Tammy or Dead Alive?
Tammy.
They're tied for first.
Okay. Who in a 9-way tie for first?
Yeah,
Those
that's
two
what I'm
movies
saying.
are in a 9-way tie.
Yeah, I mean, they both get a 100 out of 100 for me. So
Even though we've watched both and literally neither did, but I know what you mean.
yeah.
That's fair. It's good though, but yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart, and it's for that specific kind of horror fan or
Yeah.
movie fan that wants exploitation and nudity.
And if you
all
want
that.
all of that, this movie has
if you
all
wanna
of
see
it.
like a decapitated head held by a zombie body, giving like non-consensual cunnilingus to Barbara Crampton
In front of her lobotomized
guy's
father.
like strapped down, butt ass naked to a medical table. That's what this movie is.
And
But
then
it's-
boom, in comes Jeffrey Combs with some fucking funny ass one-liners. Oh, who's gonna believe a talking head anyway? Get a job in a sideshow. Like that type of shit all through the movie is
This
just.
is the freshest subject we're going to find.
And every moment you spend talking about it was wasting valuable
Please.
medical moments.
Hit play on the recorder.
I love this movie. It's so funny.
Get my notes.
I want to break a pencil not only once but twice in this
He
lecture
is
hall.
During a
great
lecture.
character and a great D&D character, I feel.
Herbert West.
Oh,
yeah. He's
I
a
made
lot
him
of
in
fun.
The Sims and played him for a while.
Oh,
He had a little
yeah.
family and a cat.
Again, necromancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It's hot.
Hot. Nice.
Yeah. What more is there to say?
I don't know, but we really got kind of got
Off
shafted
track.
here on this scheduling because it was
Oh,
very
yeah,
nice
this
of
is
the
late.
university to have us come in here, but not only is it late, but it's like all the students are gone for the holiday because Christmas is Sunday and here we are on a Wednesday and everybody's gone. Like we had flyers and we've been tweeting and we've been talking up the press release for this so much, and really, how many? There's a couple dozen of you here, Elmies. Make some noise out there, Elmies, if you're listening.
I'm just
Thank
gonna
you.
apologize right now. I mean, this is my alma mater, Miskatonic. I'm,
You are wearing
the colors
crew
and
neck
Wearing the
everything.
hoodie.
And I know that the president of the alumnus club, Marigold, she, I think, blackballed us.
because of our last episode's issues with our gender
No.
comments because we are failures to identify the andro. Are we getting canceled?
No, we're not getting canceled.
Is it because
It's-
you failed to speak up on the
I
matter?
Told her, man. It's not a.
Oh.
But in the meantime, I do have my gold key that every alumni receives.
All right.
So we kind of like free reign of the whole campus.
And we picked the English hall?
We did pick the English hall, mostly because it's the newest and most recently built, so it's higher insulated and it's not asbestos.
It's got outlets.
It has outlets that are three-pronged. Everything else, they're beautiful buildings. Honestly, Arkham is a gorgeous, old town.
Beautiful university.
Beautiful university. A lot of the buildings, 1800, constructions.
Yeah.
A lot of witch stairs and windows. But it is cold. It is getting down to the negatives tonight. It looks like there's snow.
Would you say
moving
it's
in.
colder than a witch's titty?
I would say it is colder than a well digger's ass, which is comparable to witch's teats.
Well, we are in Arkham.
We are in
we
Arkham.
are in Arkham. Arkham.
We are in Arkham. Arkham. And
Did you know this town was named by a seal? Awesome.
I think that's an urban legend, but I
Oh.
only went to school here, and I spent the summers in
They buried
another
it.
part of the country, so I'm not even really close to a townie.
Okay, we'll talk about townies next week. Is there anything that you were surprised by but for watching this for the first time, Rob? Because I know that you've heard Bill and I talk about this kind of a lot. We wax poetic. We get into this a lot. We like this film.
I famously watched it for the first time on the movie as
Famously.
On
soon
the
as it
movie.
landed.
On the plane.
What'd I say?
On
I
the
watched
movie.
on the movie.
Yeah.
I watched the movie
Famously.
on the plane. As soon as the wheels touched down, I got on eBay and I bought a copy on VHS.
I mean, this is a ton of fun. It's a lot of what I like. But I was surprised at, I guess, the amount of nudity. Maybe maybe just in like sustained shots, and not in like I was perturbed by it, but I guess it was graphic, and I was like, oh wow. So that was a little surprising, and
Dead dongs too.
and also just like some of again, like Dr. Hill in the morgue with her chained up, and that was just pretty extreme. But aside from that and just the gore, I guess I knew this movie had good special effects, and I knew it was Barbara Crampton, I knew it was sexy, and I knew that she would be at least topless in some form or fashion. And I had seen that scene before, so I know that happens at some point, but I thought it was like just a bit, and then it gets
Right.
stopped, kind of, and it's more of like a lead up to that, and there's a lot of foreplay, I guess, is like the word for it. But so I guess that's the most surprising thing about the film. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. It was funnier than I thought it would be.
It is
Like,
funny.
It's funny, yeah.
You know, and again, like the cast is not only attractive, but everyone is pretty well acted for what this film is, and is likable.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot going for it, despite being an exploitation film.
Mhm.
Yeah, they all play the characters they needed to play so well. I mean, Dan was great as the innocent medical student that got roped in with the bad boy. The dean was great as just being a stern father
Fucking
and
hard ass
dean.
like conservative who's like, I'm
Um,
gonna expel you if you don't toe
And
the
if you were
line.
using any
Yeah.
of our equipment or facilities, there's going to be
Exactly.
criminal action. Like, you need
And,
to fucking shape up or ship out.
Dr. Hill is appropriately creepy, pervy, and
Yeah.
He
manipulative.
collects napkins and hair
and
and,
hair,
straws and shit.
He's
gross.
fucking weird and he plays it well.
So it doesn't really matter that he gets resurrected. He was already like gonna do all that. He just now has no opposition because he's insane.
And he gets to carry his head around in a tray.
And also in like a doctor's bag, like an old timey
Feed
like
himself
blood.
bags of
Feeds
blood.
himself blood.
in
He's
like a
talking.
fucking sterno tray.
The blood bubbles when he talks. He's taking deep breaths as a standalone head. Like, it's funny. Like,
It's
it's
good.
so over the top. And
You got the security guard going to jerk off in the fucking bathroom.
He's
The
like
horny
reading
security-
Boudoir magazine.
Yeah,
God,
like the
he's
horny,
hot.
stereotypical fucking.
He's fucking
doesn't
jacked.
care.
He's wearing that. He's like filling out that security uniform.
Yeah.
And he's got the mustache.
Hell yeah.
He's sexy.
It's a sexy movie. And like the sweater game on everyone's on
Dude,
point.
Barbara
This is
Crampton's sweater
dumb.
game is insane.
Barbara Crampton is fucking
Perfect. She's
awesome.
perfect.
And I just want to say, not that
Oh, I
I
love you.
don't. You talking to me?
Barbara Crampton.
I do love you too.
I just feel like we need the what we did not the right one, but like when we talked about
Jacob's wife?
like trigger warning, cannibal Holocaust, like much different. And
Much different.
yeah, I mean the women in that movie could like barely consent, and there's like reasons like that was horrible. And like one of the reason why like B. Crampton is like still in horror movies and is like still loved is like the way that she talks about like these films, and she's still friends with
Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs, and like I read this interview with her about this movie, about like all the nude scenes, and she was like, oh, it's part of the story, like it was necessary to the line. She was like, she's like, I'm comfortable with my body and my sexuality, and I love the scene, and it like turned out great. And it's just like having that like attitude about it is just like so much better than being like, oh fuck, you learn, you see a documentary and it's like, someone like the director pulls them aside and screams at them and breaks them down so they'll do the fucking screen. She was like, oh, it was all in the script, it was, blah blah blah. So should we have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
What is with your fucking deal?
We love
Get over
Barbara
it.
Crampton so much.
Oh my god.
We thank her for everything she's done.
She's done so much for horror. She really has, and she still does, which is really cool.
She's great. We love Barbara Crampton. I'm not giving a moment of silence for anybody.
Okay, what about Jesus?
What about him?
What about him?
He ain't been born yet.
This movie is so much cooler than Jesus. If you think Jesus is cool and you listen to this, check this
Oh
movie
yeah,
out.
if you're in the Jesus, watch
He
Re-Animator.
dies on Halloween every
It's
year.
similar.
And he's reborn
It is.
on Christmas Day.
Similar story.
Same story.
It's basically that.
This is an
It's
Easter
the
movie.
same story.
This is an Easter movie. I've been saying that for years.
No, he's
Yes, you have.
crucified on Easter.
Well, okay, then this is a Good Friday, better fucking Sunday.
And how about so it's one thing
The things you don't know about the Bible could fill a book.
Yeah, the Bible.
Oh yeah. We like to complain about a lot of things here at 13th and Elm. One thing we complain about a lot is
How big your dick is.
Is runtime. Yeah, I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not supposed to wear the gray sweatpants.
Yeah, well,
It's honestly distracting.
not one on an empty stomach, you're not.
This movie's like, what, 84, 85 minutes long. Like, we complain about pacing and length of movies a lot. This one's like, boom,
Bang.
like,
Out.
starts you off with, like, Herbert West, like, going nuts. We get his background and everything.
Then he's in America. Next scene.
Everything we see, like, we get just enough that we care about the characters and they're fleshed out enough. And there's not any time that you're like, why are they having this conversation? This isn't moving anything forward. It doesn't have to deal with anything. The pacing is great. It's short.
It's very much
Which
unlike
is-
this podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Shout out the Midsummer episode. Go listen if you got a couple hours.
How many times could you listen to the One Cut of the Dead episode within the amount of time it takes to listen to the Midsummer episode?
0
4 or
over
5.
0, so 0?
Probably like 4.5 times.
More than that. Well, maybe not. Yeah, 4.5 is because I
It's
thought
like
that was
40 minutes versus like 2.5 hours.
No, I think it's like 19 minutes versus 2.5 hours. But anyway,
We're struggling to keep this going, and we're 30 minutes in.
Oh, buddy.
And we loved it. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Talk about the moral ethics of necromancy.
well, I dare. Why can't I talk?
This is a fun ass fucking
It's good.
movie, and it's gory. What's some more?
There's a lot of butts.
Good gore.
Good
There's lots
boy
of good
butts.
butts. Lots of good boy butts.
Dude, young boy is jacked. The first dude
one?
that they
guy?
reanimate in the
Oh my
morgue.
god.
John Doe?
John Doe.
John
He's
Doe
like
is like
22
6'5",
and 6'5". Yeah, he's huge.
250.
Yeah. So
Dude
the
is
problem.
jacked.
So the problem with the reagent is he doesn't know the dose or the timing after death to make it so they're not aggressive. So like.
He's got to calculate it so that just more than motor function comes back. Like they can have some sort of cognitive function, not
Yeah.
just come up and start swinging and screaming.
Because he was like only doing animals, and like what happens just like real quickly is they get caught. They get kicked out of school pretty much. So it's like now or never. It's like we have to prove that we're on the brink of something amazing, or what do we have nothing else to do. We just have to prove it. Break into the morgue. Like let's just fucking try it on a person. Like let's go. And like the cat we saw before, which we can get into later if we want, because it's a fun scene.
Rufus.
Rufus. Moment of silence.
Moment of silence for Rufus.
Fuck Rufus.
They try it on a big boy in the morgue, and he just comes to life quick and angry, and
He's capable.
it's awesome, and he is great. Like
Yeah.
even like we talk about how the main cast is great, like the extras, if you can even call them extras, are really good too. The people that get reanimated, they're scary. I mean,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
Oh, they're
They're all
scary.
fucked up and
all
strong.
fucked up looking. They're strong as fuck. They have like no emotion. Like there's that great part where Herbert's like, no, and he turns around and he's like, you listen to me, you listen to me,
It's
and
like-
it didn't look
Yeah,
like
like an animal would.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like you
That's
yell
what
anything.
Kane says. Yeah, he goes. He responded to you making noise like an animal.
Instinctively,
Yeah.
And then Dean comes in wrong place, wrong time, gets stomped up, metal door stomped on.
Yeah.
I forgot about that till just now.
It's wild.
That
gets
was
crushed.
crazy. That was a hot door if it was out in the sun.
Oh my
it's
God, Chrome door?
reflective. No, it's
That
definitely
was-
in a basement, but it's still.
Yeah, it wasn't hot, but it would have been
It
if
would
it
have
was
been.
in the sun.
It was probably cold because
heavy.
there's a morgue door.
It was heavy. Morgue door.
I mean, honestly, you
That's
like
a
cracked your
band
skull
name.
immediately. Morgue door.
Morgue door. We have to take this ring to
Where
morgue
shadows
door.
lie in morgue door.
That's actually such a sick fucking thing. Morgue door. That's fucking
Has someone
tight.
done this yet?
That's gotta be
No.
like a fucking black metal
But
like,
yeah, it's
band
like
name.
I'm
I'm
about
saying
to s-
Mordor. It's like no
Morgue door.
Morgue
But it's kind of
door.
like, you know, the most
Same
beautiful
shit.
combination of words in English
Well,
language is
it's-
cellar door. It's like,
So
no,
it's
morgue door.
Well, Mordor is when Mr. Freeze takes over Mordor after
Yeah.
Sauron is defeated.
There's not a band called Morgue Door. We call it. No one can use it.
That's Blood Dick
My terms.
85
Morgue door.
Morgue Door.
World Tour. It's like Spinal Tap, but
This is
Blood
Morgue
Dick.
Door?
This is Morgue Door.
This is Blood.
This is
Dick.
blood dick. I want to be Mick Shrimpton.
But
You
yeah,
are
we do get
in my heart.
another thing.
Shrimp. So I hit him with the shrimp.
Yeah, with the shrimp.
Another thing we love to complain about is
Cops being
black-
alive.
Cops being
Alive kids.
and, oh my golly gee, we haven't seen each other in a while. Can you tell, folks? Is not enough male nudity in
Dude,
horror.
no
and
hogs.
There's more hogs than boobs in this movie. Literally, moment of silence for
Hogs.
hogs.
No more. No, stop it.
Hey.
I don't like it.
Not even for
I'm gonna-
hogs?
On a scale of 1 to cute, what's a good hog?
1 to cute. Cute.
Okay.
What?
That's
what
what I
does
would've
that
said.
mean? What is that?
That's what I would have said.
Is that a 2?
Do you like
Is that a two?
Do you like cute hogs?
It's a 2 level.
What
range?
kind of hog is best?
The one that doesn't fit in my mouth.
The one that I want in my ass doesn't fit in my mouth.
You get it.
Hey, shh, teacher. Heads down.
Heads down.
Pencils down.
Pencils down. No, it's almost Christmas. Hey, what's up, Teach?
What's up, teach? Yo, teach.
Hey, what's up, Teach?
I just call him Paul.
Yeah,
Yo,
I did.
teach.
I did freshman year geography, but I didn't, go for any further.
Did you drop out or did you
No,
graduate?
just not with geography.
Oh.
No, it was like a just a credit, that I needed to get. So,
What'd you get your degree
run
in?
credit class.
my degree was in extra dimensional elder gods.
Is that why you know so much about pocket dimensions, time, space continuums, and all the things that make the Bunt family survive in the Pumpkinhead world?
Yeah, I mean, I
Pumpkinhead.
didn't want to.
Moment of silence for Ed
I'm
Harley.
not trying to flex on the Harley family or anything, but yeah,
Flex on 'em.
my undergrad was in pocket dimension time travel.
You saying Hurley didn't go to college?
With a focus in Harleyism.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because I have heard you talk a lot, and sometimes I've thought it was made up, but now I just know I'm stupid. So I believe you. Take my money.
That makes sense. We didn't have any classes together because I studied 1800s cowboy poetry.
Oh, did you go to Miskatonic? I thought you went
Yeah.
to WVU.
Yeah,
Satellite campus.
both. Yeah.
Oh, that was the abroad
Yeah,
exchange program.
Yeah, I famously barely graduated at WVU because I was online. I was also on Miskatonic online studying cowboy poetry.
That's impressive. I mean, I was part of the Lobster Honor Roll.
Oh my God! I think
Aldani,
we
Aldani,
did a.
Aldani,
I think
Aldani,
we did a.
Aldani, Aldani.
I think we did a Zoom dinner roll party together.
Lobster roll.
That's lobster
No.
roll. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
What'd you study at Miskatonic?
I didn't go to Miskatonic,
Oh,
but I was looking into actually applying. That was kind of part of the reason for our visit here this time. Not only were we going to do the pod, but this is kind of like my.
You're looking to like go back to school.
It's my visit. Yeah.
Enrich yourself with higher education.
Is that why you got
Yeah.
in that argument with that guy at the bar?
No, I sucked his boyfriend's dick, and he didn't like that. But that actually has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, that really doesn't have anything to do with this.
No, you're right about that.
But you know what? This film, wow.
Wow.
I mean, bringing us together again. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long. Like, honestly, it's like...
We've been busy.
When was the last time that we touched each other, Bill?
2 weeks ago? I've touched you since I've been here.
You have.
Probably.
You have. I'm keeping tabs.
How many
Okay.
times? Check your journal. How many times?
Well, with the new one, it's 13. 13! 13! Oh.
That's what I've touched Rob 13 times.
Some formally, some informally.
That's how you know this is a Christian household.
Oh, and everybody knows. Got the tree up.
Oh, it's almost Christmas.
We've got Christ on a cracker on the top of the tree.
You gonna put the tree up yourself?
I did already. But you know, all the presents down below, and
There
stockings,
are presents.
Stockings hung by the. Well, we don't have a chimney, but we do have a vent hood.
Yeah.
So the stockings.
We have an oven.
Hung by the vent hood with care. Hung and tang, and in the hopes that Saint Nicholas soon would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Nicholas.
Sir Nicholas.
Sir.
Saint Nicholas.
Nicholas. Well, you know what I was thinking? I was like, it's kind of effed up that nobody knows. Sorry, I almost cussed. Nobody knows
That would've been fucked.
what Mrs. Claus like first
Jessica.
name is. Yeah. Did we talk about this?
No.
But like, that's like not a well-known thing, and isn't that like sad and like like that's?
Did you hear that on a podcast?
I don't remember. We didn't talk about this, did we?
I just learned last night.
It's cute. Jessica Claus.
Did you know that?
I mean, like, I watched a movie about it.
I feel like I
You watched a
just-
movie about Jessica Claus' origin story.
Well, she was the redheaded maid with the drug sequence. Do you remember that?
Actually, I think she was
What?
the teacher who was.
She was, but
yeah.
she does become Mrs. Claus.
Right. No. Yeah. Yeah.
And her name is Jessica.
Right.
Say her name.
Jessica Claus.
Moment of silence.
Wow. No, I don't like this. Stop it.
You can't say that. BT.
I can and I
RIP.
will. BTS, stop this shit. No more dream. What do you guys think about Christmas cookies?
I think I would eat anything off of Barbara Crampton's hair.
Okay.
Like if she had a plate
hair.
full of her hair and Christmas cookies, or just even like Jello, I would eat it.
Okay. That's fair.
I like Christmas cookies.
Fair is
I
fair.
like the peanut butter ones with the kisses in them.
Yeah, those are good, man. What about gingerbread? Do you like gingerbread men?
I don't really like gingerbread.
What about their?
I like
their,
Barbara Crampton's hair.
Okay. Well, sure. If Barbara Crampton, if you could send us some of your hair so we could candy it, so they
Speaking
could
of
eat it.
eating hair, do you have any comments about Barbara Crampton's hair in this movie?
Her genital hair, maybe.
Oh, well,
Whoa.
sure. Go ahead, I guess. If that's-
I guess there's just a lot of it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's visible. That's my
Moment of
comment.
silence.
Moment of silence for Barbara
For
Barbara
Bush.
Barbara Crampton's.
Moment of
Barbara
silence for the
Bush.
former First Lady Barbara Bush.
She killed a guy.
She
killed a
did.
guy.
I think that was Laura Bush.
She
It
killed
was
a guy.
Laura.
Yeah.
It was Laura. But Barbara might have. It
Yeah.
runs in the family.
Barbara's husband's
Runs
definitely
the
signed
family.
enough paperwork that millions of men have died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then her son did the same thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so in 2000, did you vote?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either. Well, that was a good talk.
All right.
What would you rate this film?
I'll tell
Oh
you.
my God.
Actually, I will tell you.
All right. Rate it.
Right now, I'm going to rate this movie. Are we rating this movie? This movie, I'm going to
Right
give a
now.
rating.
Rate it.
94. Fuck the world.
94. Fuck the world.
Wow.
I'll go next. 97. Fuck the world.
That's insane. Okay. I don't know. It was like 75.
Fuck the
Fuck the
world.
world.
Fuck the world. It's good. It's like good. Yeah.
It's amazing.
The best.
Of the 80s.
My favorite
97. That's almost a
1980.
perfect score. That's insane. Wow. Okay. Wow. So what's next?
Oh god.
Oh
what's
man,
next?
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
the
what's next.
Christmas
Well, because what's tonight, right?
Tonight's
It's the winter
13th and
solstice.
Yeah,
It's the
which
first
is,
night of winter.
It is
the
the
last night
solstice.
of the year.
which is our Christmas.
It is actually
be
mine. I do love the
Winter
solstice.
solstice.
So today we will celebrate, and I guess that means we'll have to do a special holiday episode to commence that.
We
so the
should.
next time we come together with the Elmies, maybe we should celebrate with them. What do you guys think about doing maybe a bonus special episode?
Oh, for Christmas? For the holidays?
Sure, you guys want to do Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yuletide?
Oh, like a pan holiday celebration.
Yeah, like a non-denominational celebration special.
All denominational. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, let's get together and do something kind of quirky. What do you guys want to watch?
How about 1974's Black Christmas?
Bob Clark's 1974 Black Christmas?
What
Yeah,
about
does
The
that sound
Hobbit?
good?
No.
No.
Let's do Black Christmas.
All right, done.
Done.
Far over the misty mountains go.
That's how we.
Mordor. Okay, Black Christmas it is. I'm outvoted.
It's a Tyler Perry movie, right?
It is not a Tyler Perry movie, but we could watch Tyler Perry movie instead, like Medea's Christmas
Or Ernest Saves Christmas.
or Ernest Saves Christmas.
Black Christmas is fucking awesome. We're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it. It's really good. It's by Bob Clark. You probably know him from Baby Geniuses, which is hard as fuck too.
It's a hard.
You know what else he did?
What?
What?
Porky's?
Yeah, you know what else he did?
What?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. This
Oh,
guy's
Ralphie.
King of
Ralphie.
Christmas.
Dude,
Yeah,
check that out.
we will-
Baby Geniuses, Porky's, Black Christmas,
So
Christmas Story.
Black Christmas will be a late Christmas present, and it will come out after the holiday. Unfortunately,
Yes.
Before the end of the year, probably somewhere right around there.
28th or something.
And,
Look for out.
30th-ish,
Then
yeah.
we've got
That's
our
awards
award
season. It's award season.
Second annual
Award
Elmies, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It is.
So
Yes,
sharpen
it
up
is.
on our catalog, listen to everything that we've done, and learn more about us because we're tightening it all up.
That was great.
And then it'll be season 4.
Of your favorite
Season-
horror podcast.
Door where we finally close the morgue.
The morgue
door.
door.
Season door is morgue door.
Season 4, Morgue
Season
Door.
4.
Morgue
13th
door.
Elm, Morgue Door.
And then, I don't know, we were thinking about getting Buffalo Wild Wings tonight and making out,
Oh,
right?
Make
Because
out.
we're
thinking
two
about it.
dudes who
Sometimes
sometimes kiss,
Yep.
and Rob's here.
And I'm here.
And Rob's here.
So you gotta fuck those wings up.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Moment of
Merry
silence.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
For
For Rob.
Rudolph.
For Rob to sing.
For Rob. Oh, okay. Hold on. Which one? What do you want to hear?
Too late.
Thank
no,
you.
No.
Good King Wenceslas.
King Wenceslas.
That's what I want to hear.
I want to hear that too.
Okay. Good King. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, pull up with us, watch 2 films. Come on, watch 2 films.